ramble.
All right. So,
further speaking on Astra, dude, you got anything?
dude. All right, here come the spoilers. So if you haven't seen Astra, please check it out. I think it's worth watching. We're going to get spoilery.
Yeah, skip ahead 5 or 6 minutes. I'm sure we'll be done by then.
And here we go. Do you really expect me to believe that many people shut the fuck up for that long about this?
I know.
About this thing?
Some of it, dude.
You might need to bleep that.
Yeah.
But since it's right at the beginning of this. But
it's okay.
Dude, like there was a whole plot point is that pretty much everyone who went from a planet to another planet basically agreed, hey, we're not going to talk about this, right?
Yeah.
You can't, no way.
Yeah. I will say that revealing that there were different planets or whatever was a cool twist that I did not see coming.
I didn't see that at all. That was really interesting when they're having that conversation. They're like, wait, we're not going back to Earth? Like a person says that. I'm not getting too spoilery. And they're like, what's Earth? What are you talking about? What planet is that? That's Astra. Or whatever it was. Was it Astra?
Yeah.
Yeah. They called it Astra. It's like, whoa.
That's why they were drawn to the plaque. Astra.
Yeah. It's pretty cool stuff, man.
Yeah.
It's pretty
wild. Did feel that ending was a bit ham-fisted. Is that the
Probably,
word?
Yeah, that's the term
I
would use. But I feel like for the most part it worked.
It was like a bit it was almost like there were a couple moments where you're like, I can feel my eyes trying to roll up in the back of my head.
Yeah.
But overall, it was still really likable.
The whole like no one talked is the thing that gets me, because like we're not going to spoil it all here, but like basically there's a huge thing that happens. There's a mass migration from one planet to another, and then there's an agreement of everyone there to say like, hey, let's just pretend that never happened. And they do.
Yeah.
And they just say that never happened. And I'm like, that's bonkers.
Yeah.
That's bonkers to believe no one, because there would have been shout out to another podcast, there would have been a Henry Zabrowski like, it's just conspiracy, like going nuts. Like there would have been someone.
Well, apparently there was someone, Olger's brother, and he got silenced.
Yeah, but like that's the thing is like he wasn't there. He had like found out about it somehow. Like there was some record.
He found out about something else, which is also part of the conspiracy in this show.
Yeah, they really give you a few conspiracies in here.
They really lay it on you.
Like the first big reveal is so wild. It's like, whoa, that's crazy. And then you get another reveal that's like, whoa, that's also super crazy. Like there's a decent amount in here, and again, I don't feel like it ever doesn't work. Yeah. Except for right at the end, it gets pretty like, you stretching.
Yeah, it's like they're asking, like, just let us stretch it just a little.
They giving you the Daniel Bryan, they're stretching you.
It's been so fun that you kind of let them give you that stretch.
Yeah, I don't begrudge it. I don't hate it. No. I think it's very enjoyable throughout, but there's definitely like toward the end is like, all right, I'm going with you. I'm going with you.
Yeah, I'm here for the ride.
Yeah, and I really did like the show. It was a lot of fun.
Me too. I really did. I'm glad that we watched it.
Yeah, it was a lot of good time. And I got to watch it with my girl, and we both liked it quite a bit. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I will say that, like, we were talking about how Yunhua kind of floats back into the background. We got to the point that, like, everyone else was, like, having scenes and having conversations, like, episodes and episodes after, like, her big backstory thing. Mm-hmm. And we would just be like, I haven't seen Titty Girl in a while. And then she pops up, hey, it's Titty Girl. Because, like, that's
we didn't mention the suits. We should have mentioned those.
We didn't. Like the suits are very fun. We should have talked about that in Art of Animation. Whoops. They all have different suits and they're all like super interesting.
Yeah, they're
like,
all branded and stuff.
Some of them are way more plain, and some of them like Kiteri's is like way more like flashy. It's like I don't understand how she turns on her helmet and doesn't cut her hair off. It just kind of zips in. Yeah, which is pretty magical. But like it's a fun show.
She like her suit pops in. You see like wow, she's got a freaking rack.
She is tall and she is curvy, and ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, me and my girlfriend were watching it, and we were okay. I can't talk about some of that, but girlfriend's curvy too, and so like when she popped up, she was like, "Yep, that's me." And I was like, "Yeah, that's you." Yeah, that's how that went. But it was fun. It was interesting. I enjoyed the show.
Alrighty.
You're just nodding and smiling at me. You're being weird. You're making it weird.
I don't know where
I don't
know where you were going on that. When you retracted, I was like, it was just an odd retraction. Like, wait, what the hell?
I didn't want to jump on the podcast that I know my girlfriend listens to and say, hey, she's got big tits.
Oh, I got you.
Okay.
It's okay. My girlfriend's got big boobies too.
Jesus. All right. Well, now that we've shared way too much, God damn it.
I was just, you know,
Roger, I have a question that burns within my very soul, and I must have the answer.
Yeah, let's get to that question.
It's not about tits. What have you been watching?
Appreciate it.
God damn. You monster.
I watched, like I said,
she listens to this while she's going to sleep, and she's just gonna go and just like.
Sorry, buddy. I didn't know. Like it was really weird. I'm glad that you clarified because it could be any number of things that you redacted.
Yeah, it could have been worse. I could have been covering up something worse. I wasn't. Okay. Sure. Now that we've talked about this way too long.
Wow, strange redaction.
Now that we've talked about this way too long.
Yeah. What have I been watching? I've been watching We Never Learned season 2.
What do you think?
It's still. I thought the first season was cute and fun. I think that this season is cute and fun. It has that same humor. It does have the booby jokes.
Let me ask you a question. I've got through like not quite half of the first episode. How far are you now? It's like 2, 3 in?
4 episodes.
4 episodes in. How many ridiculous outfits has the teacher somehow been shoehorned into wearing? Not a one yet?
Not a one yet, I don't think.
Not a one yet. Well,
she has been there.
She has been. Good on her. Good on her.
She did lose her keys.
Oh, no.
And homeboy did have to carry her all the way home.
God,
again? But he's such a good boy.
Again?
Yeah.
Did they at least make reference to, like, I gotta quit doing this? Like, he keeps carrying her home? That's happened twice now.
They did make references to him cleaning her house at this point.
Jesus.
There is a really, really fun episode, dude.
I'm probably gonna watch it.
That you might like. It's got the girl that you really like. Don't take no shit.
Yeah, I like her. She don't take no shit.
Her and your boy, they team up. They're starting this little side hustle of where they go, and they will essentially come to your home. If you don't have a lot of time, they'll clean up your home and they'll make you dinner and then they leave. They're like traveling maids.
No, and she's dressed like a maid.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is he wearing a little suit? Is he a butler?
I think so. I think he's got. He gets kind of thrown into the job with her.
It's only good if he also wears a maid outfit. I want him to also wear a maid outfit.
He doesn't wear the maid outfit. However, she does drive the scooter.
Okay.
So they go in to everybody's houses. Of course, it's conveniently all the people of the show calling in for food and cleaning.
Christ. And they have to go clean up.
And the whole time, so when they get there, the people that call them in freak out because they realize it's them. So then they do all the cleaning and then feed them at every stop.
I love it.
And then give them a bunch of money.
Okay, I don't hate that. I will say, just think of how much more interesting that would be if somehow they made him also wear the maid outfit.
It would be really interesting. But yeah, man, overall, I mean, it's We Never Learn. Like, no, it's not a groundbreaking show or anything like that, but dang, I can put it on and get a couple little chuckles here. Yeah. Yeah. So I have enjoyed that. I did check out that wrestler Isekai.
How's it hitting you?
I only watched the first episode and I have not been tempted to go back, which is a shame because this should be something love.
It should be exactly your thing.
Can I do that clap from a couple of years ago?
Hit it.
It should be something I love.
God. Yeah, it sounds like it's completely up your alley. It's an animal lover wrestler boy who's in an anime and gets isekai'd. Like it sounds. Yes. It sounds like completely your shit.
He's in the middle of a title match and he gets isekai'd.
Damn, dude, how's that even happen? Does he get tit too hard and pass out?
He's doing an elbow drop with his little dog, dude.
And wait, so how does he get isekai'd? He does an elbow drop and just keeps going, or what?
These people, it's a kingdom, or they use magic to summon a warrior from another world.
Okay.
And so him and his dog vanish in the thin air, and they call him in. They're like, hey. We've summoned you to another world, or this is our world, or whatever. We need you to help us slay these beasts. And he's like, slay beast? Nah, I love these beasts.
These are my favorites.
And then he immediately transitions into German suplexing the princess.
Okay.
and her ass and her underwear are in the air for a really long time.
All right, there it is. We found it.
And then and then like the whole thing, like people are like putting their spears up at him. They're about to stab him. And he's like, okay. And he looks around. And he finds like this little cloth or whatever, and he covers up her butt because he thinks that's what he's kind of an idiot.
He's like, oh, this is the problem. Not that I just attacked this woman.
Then they chase him out of the castle, and then of course this world has furry people in it.
Yeah, it does.
Shout out to them furry people. So you got the cat ears, you got full-on wolfmen, stuff like that. And of course, there is immediately a scene where the wolfman is like a delinquent, and he's going to rough him up. But your boy is a wrestler, so he takes him down quickly, and then he gives him scritchies in a very...
Jesus Christ.
Makes him shake his leg, and they play it off in a matter where it's like rapey.
Okay, gross.
And it's like...
So you're saying I probably wouldn't enjoy this?
You probably wouldn't, because I don't think they don't write the character. You know how they do this swervy writing where he's not intentionally. It's because he loves animals
like
so much.
He didn't mean to molest.
That this wolf man is asking him not to do this, but he's gonna pet him
so
anyway.
So you're saying he didn't mean to molest the wolf man, but that is what happened. Basically,
is exactly what happened.
Does he give him the old red rock?
Granted, the wolf man was gonna attack him. I'm telling you, man, I should like this anime. I want to. I really want to.
You can't say I should like it after talking about the Wolfman getting molested, but I get what you're saying. I don't know what you mean. It's wrestling. It's animal. You're an animal lover. You love wrestling. It should be your thing.
And I don't even mind it being smutty.
Yeah.
I don't even mind that. I don't mind that he's taking the cat, the kind of scammy cat ear girl with him or whatever to set up and run hijinks all over town.
Oh boy.
They do get at the very end of the episode, so he does go on a quest for beasts, and he shows it's a pack of Cerberuses.
Yeah.
And pretty soon he's rolling on the ground with all the Cerberuses, playing fetch with them and stuff like that. And the people are like, huh. And essentially, the idea behind the show is he's going to start taking these creatures in. He's going to
domesticate them.
Yeah, it's not even so much domesticate them, but he's building a sanctuary for them.
Okay.
So he can protect them, and they're going to become his friends.
Okay.
And apparently, somewhere in there's a wrestling ring that's going to be built. This whole time, he's in his wrestling tights and his tiger mask.
Is he like Beastmaster or whatever?
Yes.
That's his thing. Okay.
Yeah. I should really like it.
It sounds great, man.
Maybe the second episode gets better. Maybe I'll give it that shot.
This is episode 1?
This is episode...
That's
episode 1, baby.
Damn, dude. All right, show. Haven't you done enough?
Yeah.
All right.
So maybe we're going to do shows you should be watching. I might give it another episode or two and see
you gotta give it a 3. I got a couple that I've only watched one on, and
see maybe I'm feeling into it too much, but
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah. And then outside of that, I don't think I've really checked much else out. I've clicked on a couple of things, but did not watch them. So
did you see the new MHA? Because I haven't watched it.
We were watching that samurai show. Like I clicked that on and checked it out. I looked at the animation for some shows. That show in particular looks awesome. It's definitely going to be one that I check out. But yeah, that's about all I've been watching other than MHA. But we'll get to that last whenever you tell me what you've been watching.
Yeah, I have not seen.
Did you have a question for me?
No, what have you seen the new MHA? Which I did not.
Okay, I saw the one last week. I haven't seen. So
there should be a new one tomorrow.
Yeah,
I did not see the last one.
Okay, I did see the last one.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, me and Cal were on top of that shit.
Yeah, man, I kind of Joe over here fiending for it. He's over here scratching his neck. He's fiending.
Yeah, she's like, I hate this because you have to wait a whole week for another small episode.
Yeah, dude. I haven't watched the newest one yet,
babe.
so I'll have to get on that. But yeah, I have watched. Let's see, I had a couple things. So let's start with this one. I did watch After School Dice Club, which it looks like it would be my thing. It's pretty cute. It focuses on a group of girls who are in high school, and they, for one reason or another, you find out in the first episode, end up at this game store, and they're playing these games. And the cool thing about it is it's all these like real world games you can really go and buy, and you can really play for real, and they all have the real names and stuff, and it's pretty interesting. It should be pretty interesting. I found it kind of real boring. I'm not gonna lie, because like the thing about it is it focuses first on this one girl in particular, and then she's like really shy and seems kind of like depressed or whatever. She's kind of bummed out about stuff. Runs into this other girl who's like a ball of energy and super peppy, and then both of them one way or another end up like downtown, and they're walking around and they spot I think it's like the school vice president or president, I forget, of their class or whatever, and she's very strict and serious, but they see her ducking into this building and they're like, what's that, what's going on here? And they decide to be real snoopy, and they go on up and find she is in this it's like a game store where they have all these different tabletop and board games and stuff. It's pretty fun. The guy who is the manager there is a very large man who's like, hey, what are you kids doing here? Like, he's like looks terrifying and freaks them out immediately.
It's me.
Yes, but way more muscly.
It's me.
Go ahead and flex on him. Oh my god, he's so ripped, y'all. Oh, he's got them 48-inch pythons. Oh my god.
I'm gonna make these titties jiggle.
See, last time you got all on me for calling them titties.
It's the pectorals. I was just
I was
just saying what you know, baby.
You got them little titties, boy. Anyway, damn, he's making his bubs bounce. But yeah, man. It's pretty interesting, and of course the girl that they saw go in there, who is like super strict and whatnot, is actually like an employee there, and they immediately like the guys like the manager is like, oh, sit down, let's play a game. So they play a game. I forget what the game was called. It was like this thing where you got this guy and they're selling rugs or something. It was pretty interesting. The problem herein is that they tried to give you a little bit of backstory on the characters, and I kind of like, me and Haley watched it together, and we were both just like about halfway through, like, when are they gonna play the games? Like, and then they finally do when we get that far, and it's like, it's kind of hard to, at least in this first episode, it's kind of hard to get interested in these characters. I really just wanted to see like them playing games because that's what it's about. Maybe if I didn't know that up front, maybe, but honestly, the story they kind of,
it's kind of like gamers with board games.
Kinda, yeah.
Gamers anime, of course.
Sure, but I just kind of didn't care about the characters at all. Despite them trying to make me. The other thing is that when they finally do play the game,
so you wanted maidens with board games.
Maybe. But the thing is, well, see, I need one or the other. I need you to be like really big on the games or really big on the characters.
That's fair.
When we finally get to the game, it's like they give you like the kind of typical for these, like, here's all the rules. It's kind of boring when they're explaining the rules. Like, cool, start playing the game, and like they talk about like there's literally scenes where like they're sitting there, you're watching these characters look at the board like, well, if I go that way, maybe if I go that way, what am I gonna do? But they don't show the board. So it's like, well, who gives a like? You can just say whatever.
It's kind of.
And then
like,
when they finally do, it's like, I don't even like. There's so much going on. We're like all the way through the game. I didn't see the beginning of it, and I'm like, I don't even fully understand what's happening now. It was kind of weird.
The way you describe it is it should be somewhat similar to what High Score Girl is able to do with video games.
Sure.
But with board games.
Yeah, it should be like. I'm not going to say what it should be because it's a show and I've seen one episode. Okay. So obviously I haven't given it its fair shake yet. I'm going to give it another 2. I got to do rule of 3 on these. But I don't know. That first one just really didn't grab me. I found it, me and Haley both, we found it kind of boring, we said. And let me talk about the other thing I watched with her, which is one that,
go.
Boy, oh boy, I don't know if I'm going to get through through 3 of this one. I watched Africa Salaryman. Watched one episode of that one.
I saw the thumbnail for it and didn't even attempt, but
I'm not gonna lie, the thumbnail kind of looks fun to me. It looks like a different Agretzko, like it's a bunch of animal people working in an office, is what the thumbnail is.
Yeah,
and I'm okay, fine.
I can see that, but it looks way more like
it's like less cutesy.
Yeah,
is the thing.
It doesn't have the charm.
And I'm like, well, maybe it'll be like a little, maybe it's a little bit rougher. Maybe there's more going on here. I don't know. It was a lot rougher. And like the whole thing is just, it's so weird. Cause like for one thing, they constantly jump between like 3 or 4 different animation styles. It has some pretty okay 2D animation, and then it goes to like this way more sketchy thing, which is not super unheard of in any of these animes. They like switch it up to like show you a change in the pace or whatever. But then like it goes into this just gross, not good CG. And like the way the jokes they make and stuff are like, I don't know, pretty like mildly offensive stuff. Nothing that like would be so, nothing that like is like so bad I was like, oh, how dare you, and turn it off. But it was like, okay, this is kind of dumb or kind of messed up. And the whole thing just basically focuses on, like, for the most part, these 3 employees who work in this office. One of them's a lion. One of them's a bird or something. Oh, he's a toucan, I think. And one of them is like a lizard man. And for the most part, like, you get a pretty good idea of who the characters are right away, and whatnot. But it's just like, it just felt really weird, particularly the constant shifting of art styles and the jokes and stuff they made. It reminded me a lot of like those 2 a.m. Adult Swim shows, like a Drinky Crow or a, what was the other one?
Super Jail.
Maybe Super Jail. Honestly, Super Jail was like not terrible. It was just really gory and crazy toward the every episode.
I'm trying to think of
what was the other one I said? 12 Ounce Mouse, that kind of stuff. Where it's just like there's a bunch of weird shit happening and they don't really talk about it. And then like, yeah, it's just odd. It's just really odd. And I feel like it's one of those shows that like if I could smoke weed and not freak out about it, I would probably be into this. Which is not to insult anybody who smokes weed, but like
Tim and Eric or whatever that show is.
Yeah, kind of. There's just a bunch of weird shit happening.
Man, those shows were freaking lame. I don't smoke that weed.
I mean, Tim and Eric had its moments for me. I was
never a big fan.
Off of it.
But yeah, those
weird.
I like the more like Adult Swim like style, like Squidbillies and the Octane Hunger Force,
where like
there's a full like story in the episode.
So this one kind of does the like Asobi Asobase thing, where it's like several different little stories and whatnot, which I don't know. It just felt weird, and like at one point I like. It wasn't like I paused it and was like, oh, only halfway, but it was like, how much longer is this? Like it was one of those where I was like, I don't know if I'd want to watch the whole thing. But yeah, I don't know. It's probably one I'm probably gonna have to skip, is what I'm saying.
We have never reviewed Asobi Asobase.
Fuck.
We've never reviewed it. Maybe the week after next.
Roger is salivating, y'all.
I could watch that again.
It's a pretty fun show.
Dude, that might be set. You should show that to your girlfriend. Has she seen it yet?
I don't think so. Oh, fuck. All right. Well, I guess that's happening.
It's so good.
If she doesn't, like, just immediately dump me after I talk about her.
Wait till she sees the poop doll.
Oh, no. Well, don't spoil it. She does listen to this.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I'm not going to spoil anything.
But yeah.
There is a poop doll.
But yeah, freaking Africa Salaryman. I don't know if I'm going to get through the 3 of that one, but I'm going to try to. There's one more thing I watched that I won't talk too much about because I kind of like this one. I don't want to jinx it. It's called Babylon. It's streaming on Amazon Prime. I only got the first episode in me, but I'm going to go back and, at least give that one 3. It's a pretty interesting story of like, you get this, basically it starts, the very first thing you see is a bunch of dudes going into this office building and, it's like a raid on this pharmaceutical company because apparently they've been like, paying this university or something that was doing a study on their drug to say it was doing stuff that it wasn't. Like, oh, it's so great, but really it isn't, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of shady stuff. And there's these guys are part of this group who like goes in there, raids them, gets all their information, all their paperwork, all their computer stuff, and is just going through it trying to find out like where'd this money go? Did they actually pay off the school, et cetera, et cetera. So partway through that, one of the dudes finds this sheet of paper that appears to have a stain on it, like a coffee stain, and he looks closer. He's like, no, this is dried blood. And he takes it, and he sees there's like a little bit where the paper is like, it kind of looks like another sheet of paper. And in a pretty, like, pretty interestingly animated scene, he takes them and like pulls it apart like zzz, like that. And on the inside is just a huge, what looks like blood. It's like what looks like the letter F just typed over and over and over again in a giant like swirling weird gross circle.
That sounds cool.
There's like hair and fingernails in there and maybe a little bit of skin, and he's like, what is this? And he finds a name on it of this doctor. Him and his guy go to like try and find this doctor. Like this might have nothing to do with the case, but this is huge. Like, what is going on here? So they try to find this guy. Well, he hasn't been in for a couple of days. They go to his apartment. He's not answering the door. Ear to the door, they hear this loud classical music blaring. They're like, well, we don't have a warrant. Oh, I already asked for a warrant. They bust on in there and find the dude sitting in a chair, butt-ass naked, with a machine next to him, going to like an oxygen mask on him, and he is straight up dead. He has been like don't know if it was a suicide or if it was rigged to kill him, but it was basically very slowly giving him a lethal dose of this what do you call it, like the stuff that puts you under when you go to surgery, whatever.
Anesthesia,
a lethal dose of anesthesia. And from there it just takes off. So that sounds cool. It's a fairly serious show. It seems like it's going to be a whole lot of investigation, a whole lot of intrigue, a whole lot of crazy conspiracy stuff. There's a whole thing with this election that's going on, like what's happening.
Wow.
And slight warning for y'all if possible suicide/murder hits you, but it gets a little bit gory.
Wow.
And like particularly at the end, there's another death that happens that is kind of hard to look at.
Oh wow.
But yeah, it's pretty wild stuff. I think I'm gonna at least give it the 3, and we'll see how it hits me. But I'm pretty into it right now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's called Babylon. That one's on Amazon Prime. That's the only one I've watched. New thing I watched so far, besides MHA, obviously, that really hit me is this is pretty intriguing. Beyond that, of course, catching up on Dr. Stone, still watching Vinland Saga. Damn, Vinland Saga's pretty good. These last couple episodes are getting like a little bit different. They've hit like the halfway point where now we got like new music and stuff, and it's a little bit different, but still hitting it. I'm into that show.
Wow.
But yeah, man, that was about it. You got anything else?
That's it.
Do you want to talk about the MHA? Because I didn't actually watch it.
No, I don't want to talk about it if you haven't seen it yet.
Excuse me, I'm getting a message here. Roger, we have some anime news. Just a couple quick stories that I wanted to hit y'all with. One that actually came out a week or so ago, and I wanted to talk about it, but we didn't get a chance to. Would have been very apt last week because it's about the Cowboy Bebop live action thing that's going on. Unfortunately, it has been put on hold. If you haven't heard about it, I'm telling you now. Production's put on hold for something like a possible 7 to 9 months because our boy who's playing Spike, Mr. John Cho, he got a little injured. No real details on what exactly, but it sounds like I think I read something that they were speculating. It sounds like he might have injured his arm or something, like a minor break or something. So, eesh. But we'll see what's going on. But yeah, the last I heard about it before that was there was a pretty great little video you might have seen where a bunch of people who work on the show and are in the show or whatever were sitting at a table, and you see what looks like a camera, like you're seeing first person on the ground, and then it jumps up onto the table, and then they cut back and it's Ein, the corgi that's playing Ein, and it's so fucking cute. But unfortunately, it's going to be a while before we get to see that properly because that whole production for the Netflix's live action Cowboy Bebop show is on hold for not a full year, but a while.
That's a shame, man.
It's a shame. I'm really. The more I think about it, the more I want to see what this is going to be. It sounds like it's going to be interesting. I don't know if it'll be good, but I'm definitely going to watch it.
Yeah.
Still haven't read anything about them confirming what the music situation is. Baby, I need my seatbelts in Yoko Kanno. I need it. If I don't get it, I'm going to be kind of bummed.
It's pretty much a must, man.
It's a must-have. It's a must-have. You got to have it. One other quick little piece of anime news, one that I'm pretty interested in, although I'm not sure if it's available on Android yet, which is what I use. Sanrio has teamed up with a new game platform app that you can download. You basically download this thing called Moment SQ, and they are making a bunch of games. And the first thing they're making, first big one that they're putting out, you can get it now on iOS for sure, is an Agretzko mobile game. Ooh. Yeah, sounds pretty interesting. Apparently the whole thing is like an interactive story is what they're calling it. They kind of give you a little bit of information here. Here's a quote, actually. We had to decide early on if we were going to adapt directly from the Netflix series or create an extension of the story. That's from L.K. Shelley, the game's executive producer, apparently. We ended up opting for a plot that was inspired by the anime, but was faithful to the story Bible from Sanrio. So it's kind of a semi-original thing. And apparently the whole thing plays out like an instant messenger kind of app where you're chatting with and making friends with characters from the show. And presumably there's different twists and turns that can happen, depending on how close you get with this person or that person. Odds are if you're hanging out with Finico, then what's her name, the Doe girl, might not be into you, or vice versa. That kind of thing.
It's a dating sim.
Kinda, not really.
A relationship sim.
Yeah. That's closer, I would say. From what it sounds anyway. I have not had a chance to play it yet because, again, it's currently I'm only seeing that it's out on iOS and is planned to drop on Android and other stuff later. But currently, if you got an iPhone and you like Agretzko, download this freaking Moment SQ thing and hit it up. Let us know what you think.
Does it say how much it is?
I haven't actually seen that. No, I would assume not a terrible lot.
I have an iPhone.
Check it out, man. The actual Moment SQ thing, I believe, is free, and then you purchase the games and stuff through that. So yeah, Moment SQ Beta is what I have available on Android. It does have a picture of the Agretzko game, but I'm not certain that I can actually get to it yet. But yeah, it looks pretty cool.
What's the thing called?
Moment SQ. It's all one word. MOMENT SQ.
Okay.
It kind of seems like one of those. It actually, you know what it sounds exactly like now that I'm looking at it and thinking about it. It sounds exactly like one of those ads I would always see like on websites where it's like, live your story or whatever. And it's like a picture of a girl and she's like, he's cheating on me. And then like you have a choice of like, break up with him or cut his dick off or something. Those are always like way exaggerated from the actual games, but it kind of looks exactly like one of those where like you're in these situations and you're picking like who to hang with or what decision to make and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, I got it pulled up here. It looks like it's free.
Well, the Moment SQ thing is, but then like that's the thing, you're downloading games through that.
Purchases,
exactly,
yeah.
You're getting the games through it. It's a platform that you're downloading and then going from there. Not unlike your,
It has stuff. 1 5-star rating that says more Agretzko, please.
Well, there you go. It must be great. It's got a perfect score, Roger.
Hey, man, that was some good news.
You're the worst. Hey, Roger.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. All right. We got anything else to talk about, or are we getting on out of here?
I think we should roll on out of here, dude.
All right. So next week, we're going to be talking about, again, stuff you should be watching, we think you should check out. Hey, we'll get there. But for right now, let's hit the plug. So if you're listening to this on the podcast, which you might be doing on Apple Podcast, Podbean, Podcast Addicts, what I use, we're on Stitcher, pretty much anywhere you can find us, by all means, we'd really appreciate if you left us a comment and a rating, 5 stars, thumbs up, whatever, platform you're using goes by.
Yeah,
we'd like
it really
the
helps
good
us
one
out if you do that.
Yeah, it helps us out a whole bunch if you give us a little rating and a comment. We'd really appreciate it. If you're checking this out on the YouTube portion, which you might be on youtube.com/RapidKickMedia, we'd really appreciate if you give us
no matter where you are, please subscribe to us. That definitely really helps.
Give us a like and a subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And of course, leave us a comment. We love to hear from you guys. If you got any questions, we try to find questions and we'll answer them on the show. Good way to interact with your good buddies, and we'd love to interact with our good buddies. Beyond that, we are a number of other places, including the Facebook group, The Good Buddies Universe on Facebook. We'd love it if you hit us up there. You can join us there and chat with us, talk to us, questions, comments, whatever. Tell us another show you think we should check out. We also have the Twitter, TGB_anime pod. There is, of course, the Tumblr, which is Dead and Zombified, thegoodbuddies.tumblr.com. And if you want to go super, old school for us, thegoodbuddiesanimepod@gmail.com is where you can just send us a straight up email.
Send us an email, baby.
Do you even check it anymore?
Yeah, I do. From time to time.
Just every now and then, yeah. At least once a week.
I would say that I check it probably 3 times a month or so.
Nice. Yeah, maybe hit us up and let us know what you think, man. We'd really appreciate it for all of our good buddies out there. I think that's it with the regular plug. So let's get on to our music credits. We, of course, want to give a shout out to our good buddies Married with Seamonsters, a.k.a. the Mary Janes, for the use of our opening theme song, Paperdoll. They are available on Spotify, but that track, as well as so many other hot fire tracks, are only available on marriedwithseamonsters.bandcamp.com. By all means, hit them up, check them out, download some tracks. They're amazing. I love them. They're so good. One more time, that's Married with Seamonsters on Spotify or marriedwithseamonsters.bandcamp.com. We want to give absolutely appreciate y'all. We want to give another shout out. Roger's just over here cheesing. We want to give another shout out to our good buddy Haas for the use of our closing theme on the YouTube review portion. Again, that's Thomas Tastes Better on Instagram for the use of our closing theme on that one. The Buddy's Good. Yeah, that's Thomas Tastes Better, our buddy Haas. And of course, a shout out to our good buddy A Petty Theft. Yeah. That is how it's pronounced. 2 P's at the beginning, 2 T's at the end. Petty theft. That's how it goes. Yeah, man. Our good buddy Petty Theft for the use of our closing theme on the podcast, which is, we are still calling it Sweet Anime Dreams. Thank you, Petty Theft, for the use of our closing theme. Again, that's Petty Theft on SoundCloud and on Twitter. And I think that's about it. We taking us out Bigo style, bro?
We're gonna go Bigo. We're gonna go Bigo style, or we're gonna let everybody know how much we appreciate them.
That's probably a good idea. So from all of us here at the Good Buddies Anime Universe, I am your good buddy Brandon.
And I am your good buddy Roger. We appreciate you.